Hello, welcome to Inner GPS Gurus. Today I am going to share with you one of the most important secret about how to heal your brain. Brain is one organ of the body that is your head office, and for any reason if your brain is not working, then you don't feel integrated in life. You must have applied many techniques, many exercises or yoga or meditation practices to heal your brain, but your brain is not healing. That is the fact. The brain that processes so much of information and energy vibration needs a different level of healing. In any case, whether you are having brain fog, you are having multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer, dementia, mental problems, too much of obsessive thoughts, depression, anxiety, or any health issue that doesn't let you to think in a conscious way and you are always absent to life, then this video is going to help you a lot, because these are the practical secrets to heal your brain, and it has transformed the lives of many of my students who are applying these techniques in their life. And actually it is a shift. It is a kind of big decision. So there are many solutions to heal the brain, and in this video I will focus on one practical action that you need to do to heal your brain immediately. What is the secret? The secret is solo traveling. Solo traveling, and how it is going to heal your brain. So let me give you the first idea why solo traveling heals your brain and how it heals. I will be discussing most of the things that is possible and practical for you through solo traveling, and it makes you aware of yourself from a new dimension. So are you excited to know all these secrets and apply in your life? I guarantee that if you watch this video with full attention, with conscious listening and absorption of my energies, you will immediately pack your bags and plan something that you have never been able to do so in your maybe years or months of stagnancy. You are stuck in life and you don't know how to take the first leap. So in the next segment, I will be sharing with you the benefits of solo traveling for healing the brain specifically, and you will experience yourself how it heals. It is such a fantastic idea that you go into a different dimension of knowing yourself. But for that, you need to take an intentional decision that during this traveling, you will be disconnected from the world around you and you will focus entirely on your space, energy and consciousness to live the life your soul, your energy, your existence wants to live through you. Alright, so let's go to the benefits and explore how you can experience these benefits. The first benefit of solo traveling is you create a space for yourself. You go into a space where you don't have to share your energy field with anyone in the world. You're alone. That spaciousness is required for the energy to grow. Especially if you are going through spiritual awakening process or Kundalini awakening journey, you need a certain space for your energy to process in itself. And that space is not available in the city or in the home with whom you share your personal space in a family. Whether you are a single person or a person who lives in a family, doesn't matter. If you want to experience the space element of your energy field, then you need external space, which is possible in a new home or a new space where your brain finds it unknown. So the first benefit you will get is you will be able to give yourself the required space for your energy to grow. The next benefit is about your neural pathways. You live in your own home in certain patterns, and those patterns have made you into a robot. Day in and day out, you do the same things and you feel that you are trapped in that robotic patterns or mental patterns, and you don't even feel life. You are feeling that someone else is living your life through your body. Who is that someone? That is the egoic patterns of behaving in the same way, doing the same things in the same way. The things are kept in the same way, and your house is filled with matter of all memories. And your neural pathways act all the time from your subconscious mind and not from your conscious self. You're not operating from your consciousness when you are operating from your patterns, subconscious mind. And those subconscious mind has emotions, stored memories. But when you come to a new space and get acquainted with the environment which is new to your brain, new to your nervous system, your brain function, the cognitive abilities of your brain suddenly start functioning. And you need to know that when your brain is exposed to a new environment, that time the new neural pathways are built. The new neural pathway of unpredictability will be built in you, and you will go towards your instinctive function of brain, the primitive function of brain. And this you can experience only through solo traveling. When you are traveling to a new place alone, you will experience that each moment is exciting. Each moment something is adventurous because you don't know what is where. So 3 to 5 days or 7 days of solo trip is a must for you to experience such kind of shifts in you, such kind of coming close to you. So the third benefit of solo traveling is you become aware of your true self. It is the best idea or best sadhana or best technique for self-realization. If you want to realize yourself, you need to do solo traveling with conscious efforts, and each moment see what happens in your energy, how your energy functions, how your consciousness functions. You will come to know that there is certain presence beyond the egoic self, the one with whom you are identified with. You are identified with someone. You are operating from that ego identification, the conscious image of being someone in the world, the roles that you play, the functions that you do. So you are always operating from the mask of that role that you are playing in the world. But when you come to solo traveling and experience yourself, you suddenly see that perceiver is there, the witness, the consciousness, the awareness is there behind this egoic self, and that is true you. And with continuous solo traveling, you will have that shift In fact, you could be enlightened after many such solo trips. If it is not practical for you to do solo trips for months or years, then do small trips. I will guide you for those suggestions as well, how you can do that. But sticking to the benefit of it, you come close to yourself. You know that you have a heart, you have a soul, you have a consciousness here, and you feel life more than ever. So, shifting to the next benefit is that you feel your life energy in totality. Each moment, if you are conscious, you feel that a life thrives in you. It's of different quality of life that you have never noticed. You never knew it exists in you. As you are that life force. Where are you? Life is here and now. But you are in your mind, you are in your ego, you are somewhere else. And all the time you are living. Your mind is living your life. The society is living your life. The parents, the family, and the world is living your life. Where is your personal choice? This life is here and now, this breath. You will become aware of your breath, the life force, the prana, and everything that is you. And you'll understand that whatever is not you is gone. You don't pay attention to someone, that person is gone from your energy field. And you pay attention to yourself, you become aware of yourself. So the next benefit of solo traveling is the power of attention. You get access to the power of attention. And you know experientially the law of the power of attention. That is, where attention goes, energy flows and it grows. Your concentration will increase. Your focus will increase. Your brain will start functioning well. You are paying attention to the world. The world is growing in your mind and you are being drained of all the energy, because where attention is going, energy is flowing and everything is growing. You are being depleted. Attention is the currency of consciousness. And when you lose this currency, you are a beggar. If you want to reclaim your power back, if you want to become a king, then you need to come back to yourself. This is the world. Withdraw all your attention from the world and make it this direction. This is the object, this is the subject. You are the subject. Pay attention to yourself. Look to the world like that. Point B. Point A should be here. Here should be the attention. And this is you. This is you. This is the real you. And with solo traveling, you get many such moments, many such opportunities when you look inside, when you come back inside, you go inside. This power of attention is the most precious currency in the entire universe. It is not money. Money is the byproduct of this attention. Once you know this power is with you, you will do everything to reclaim back your currency, your wealth. Attention is your wealth on which you are sitting. It is the diamond and you are a diamond merchant. You can encash this attention for the deals that you want to do. So, with the power of attention, you will be able to live the life you always wanted to live, and you will never dilute this attention at the cost of money, time, or anything which the other people want from you. These 5 benefits are the most prominent benefits. Apart from this, you will experience many shifts in your life. You will get, after regular solo trips, the next benefit that will happen to you, your life purpose will be revealed to you. You will come to know what is your ikigai, what is your soul's journey about, why you are born, why you are here, what are you doing here. Suddenly you will get the glimpse of the Shiva consciousness, the Shakti energy in you, the power of the universe will be introduced to you through solo trips. And if you don't want to dilute this energy, then you need to do regular solo trips throughout your life. And why not create your life in such a way that your life becomes a trip? My motto or my secret of living life is, your life is a trip on planet Earth. So explore the way you want. I feel all these benefits are enough for you to take a decision, to take a jump into the unknown right here, right now. And if you want your blockages to be removed, then I am here for you to guide you for all the process involved in solo trip, by unblocking your energies, by removing your karmic blockages that is not allowing you to reach this state. And you can go anywhere in the world as you feel, only the shift is required. So there are some practical steps that you need to do to plan your solo trip, and that is all possible only when you have the intention to do it. So how to prepare yourself for a solo trip? Do this practice, do this sadhana to shift your energy. And that is, close your eyes and visualize a place where you want to go. Pour all your attention to it. Visualize it completely with belly breathing or belly movement, in and out movement, or nose breathing. Come in the rhythm of life. Pay attention to that place internally. Visualize the place, choose a place where you want to go. It could be anywhere. And then be present with all your presence of feeling that place, and feel the expansion in your heart as you feel it. When you are visualizing it, your attention, your presence, first of all is your intention. The number one point is intention to go on a solo trip. Second point is pay all your attention. Third point is pay your presence to feel that place. Fourth step is be aware of everything as if you are experiencing it in the present, because your brain doesn't know the difference between real and unreal. When you prepare your brain, expose your brain with consciousness in visualization, your brain gets ready for the actual step. It starts creating the neural pathway of taking the action. So with your awareness, you are creating a 3D image or a 3D feel in your field of awareness about the actual happening of the event. And then pour all your consciousness and energy into it. Make it happen. Feel it completely. Be in that space. Suddenly you will see that your heart is expanding. You feel like it's growing. Suddenly you feel a smile on your face as you visualize the place. For example, you want to go on a solo trip to a mountain. Feel the mountain. Feel the river flowing, the nature around and everything. You are staying in a homestay, hotel or anything, any accommodation that is suitable for you. But you feel it completely with whole your energy, your life energy should be involved in feeling that. And once you do this, do it till you get the shift of actually taking the actions. So this is a small technique that I have taught you. You can apply it immediately. if you want to know more, if you want to unblock your energies that is restricting your flow of life, then you have to take my consulting or join the projects through which I shift you to different dimension of life where you go into the independent living style. If not permanently, then at least you can start with the small step. Nothing will change in 24 hours, but everything can change in just one moment of taking the decision. So I bless you that you get the courage, the gut feeling to take this step for your brain healing. And when you expose yourself to such environment regularly, you will come alive. Your life will be transformed. You will become a better human being. You will be a new human being. Or maybe the human itself will dissolve and you will come close to yourself as pure consciousness and pure energy. Alright, so it was great sharing with you all these secrets, and I loved this expression because I know even if one person who gets inspired by this idea will be free and heal. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye bye.